You are now tuned into your new favorite podcast, A Peace of Mind, with your hostess, Ladur. I am so happy to have you guys back. If you're new here, welcome to the family. I hope you enjoy. If you're into the unhinged but the real, you have definitely found the right podcast. And if you're returning, what's up? I hope you did the assignment from the last podcast. I hope you did everything that you had to do. Last week we discussed a little bit of, it's a new year, staying on track for your goals, making the goals that you have for 2025 attainable, and just letting go of your old self. The 5 stages of grief. It was a little heavy, if you ask me. I tried to lighten it as much as possible, but, if you're not going to hold yourself accountable for your shit, there's me. I'm going to hold you accountable. But yeah, I just wanted to dive into some things that, really add to, because I don't want you guys to feel like the world, or at least me, does not understand the things that go into why we are the way that we are. Part of the reasons that we develop the habits that we have, the behaviors that we have, is toxic relationships. And that does not just mean with the guy car that you key the tires you slash. It's not just that. Toxic relationships go beyond that. A lot of times it starts with family. It starts at the roots with your childhood. Now, I'm not a therapist, even though I can be. I'm just unlicensed. Use all the experiences that I'm giving to you in these episodes to your own risk. Use your discernment. None of this is legal advice. Don't ever try to serve me, because I'm going to serve y'all right back. But for real though, just take what I'm saying to you with a grain of salt. Take what you can, take what you should, share what you need to, and just sit with what you really need. You understand? Before we get started, last week I told you guys to make a list. Just make a list of the things you love about yourself, the things you want to work on for yourself, and basically a list of what it takes to become who you want to be. If you're new here, just take a few minutes to jot some things down. It doesn't have to be extensive, just jot some things down. You understand? I want you to really value the list that you created, because that is what is going to help you. A lot of the experiences that we have went through, toxicity that we have went through, is really what has distorted our reality. It doesn't make it any less real. It doesn't make it any less true. It doesn't make it any less valuable. It is just our experiences. You understand? For me, I loved how hard I was able to love. I loved how I would dive in just head first, no life jacket, no nothing, just I'm with you, I'm with you. I'm all in. I mean, think of Fast and Furious. Think of Titanic, but I'm Jack. Think of all of those things. For me, that was a plus. But it was also just a projection of how I wanted to be loved. The only difference is, I knew that if it was the other way around, I wasn't going to let that person down. But of course, they let me down. And they needed to, because I needed to learn. You understand? I realized that a lot of the things that I was willing to do for others, and a lot of things that I was willing to accept, was due to my own lack of boundaries. I like to characterize it as, I'm overly understanding, which I am a Gemini, so let's be FFR. I do actually understand. But I can understand and still respect my boundary. That was all new for me. That is still kind of new to me. I'm learning, but I'm sharing as I learn. My toxic relationships stemmed from my family, then it spills over into my adulthood, even my teenagehood, of just dating the people that I chose to date, the people that crossed my boundaries, and the people that I would still always take back, just because of the simple fact of I didn't have a boundary. off into the sunset. That was always the goal. Always wanted to be with the last person, never wanted to go through multiple people. I'd rather go through everything I need to go through in life with you rather than sit there and start over. However, having boundaries are super important because it establishes and it, I guess, recertifies the respect that you have for yourself. If you allow people to cross your boundaries, you are going to feel the violation, the disrespect, and it is going to distort how you feel, how you moving, and all the things that you'll go through. You understand? So, for me, the toxic relationships did teach me a lot. I mean, these past umpteen years, I'm just gonna say umpteen because I don't even know how much it is. I have not been in a committed relationship. I've been in situationships, and them shits have lasted 5 years, 6 years, like with no title, and I was so happy with that because having a title meant too much. It meant that you are not supposed to do this, but you are doing this. Now, what are you going to do? You understand? Now, even though I had a lack of boundaries, I still respected everyone else's boundaries. I respect no's, I respect stops, I respect it all. Man, I don't even like the word no. As soon as I feel like you're rejecting something I'm offering, it's just out of here. I'm ghost. It's just enough for me. I don't like that feeling. It doesn't feel so good. But I just didn't create any of my own. There was no line presented to anybody that I was dealing with, and I mean family. You know, my family to this day really only calls me when they need something. It's never a, hey, how you doing? It's never a, oh, I'm just calling to check up on you. You know? I'm the rich auntie, the rich daughter, that's how they view me. Do I think I'm these things? I think I'm wealthy because I have all the things that matter that money can't buy. I don't think that I'm rich. I just think that when I want something, I'm gonna make it happen. Everyone's not like that. But you have to learn how to draw the line with these people. I just always expected people to naturally reciprocate the energy that I give because I always come with pure intentions. I always come with good vibes. And if I don't have good vibes, 10 out of 10, I'm not around because I don't want to be there. And I can't mask or pretend like I want to. You understand? But what is a toxic relationship? What even is that? What makes a relationship toxic? Well, the definition of toxic is something that is very harmful. What do you have going on in your life that harms you? For me, harmful doesn't have to be life or death. Anything that messes with your mental, anything that messes with your well-being, anything that just messes with your feelings, how you feel, like how you're reacting, how you're moving, you know? Toxic is harmful or unpleasant in a very insidious way. That same person that you're running back to that you know that you are not getting anywhere with. Why? What are you getting out of it? What are you getting out of it? Little bacas? Like, is it worth it? BFFR. In the beginning, I know it feels like it is. Like, after them long nights with your girls, and it's like, oh, I'm kind of lit right now. I know the bacas feel like the best thing to do. But after you do it and you go home and 2 days later y'all arguing, it wasn't really the best decision you could make. BFFR. And for the girl that keeps slashing your tires and popping up unannounced and you really want to be done, does it really seem like the best thing to do? It's costing you not only time and energy, but money. Because how many claims can you file under your insurance? And if you got the link, that's okay. Hold that down to yourself. But still, after a while, you know? Just saying. I'm just saying. If we dive into the definition of toxic relationship, it simply means a relationship that's overall harming you. It's not doing you good. You can do bad all by yourself. You don't need to add somebody into the mix to help you do bad. We human. We're going to make mistakes regardless. You need somebody that is going to be supportive, that is going to be there for you, that can hold you down. The world is hard enough. And it's not because it's the world. The world is hard enough because you have to deal with other people. Like I said last week, life is not that complicated. We just make it that way. But that's our nature. It's how we are. It's how we're raised, it's how we're taught to think, and whether you want to be, I'm the most different person, or you fall in line with society and your environment still affects you. Just make it the best experience you can. If you have to deal with somebody else and be there with somebody else, just make just the best person for you. Now, if you're not ready for that, that is okay, because our journeys are all different. Now that I'm older, let me tell you, I still smile. I'm not fully healed yet. I'm just not where I used to be. A lot of my relationships were toxic. And to me, they were some of the best freaking ones. They were fun. I never knew what to expect. They were spontaneous. And they gave me things that I needed. But they were also very much, they weren't emotionally intelligent. And then the ones that were, maybe sometimes it gave me an ick. And then the other ones, they just weren't emotionally available. But it all makes sense because I wasn't emotionally available. I wasn't at a place where I could sit there. I wanted the consistency of being able to sleep with you when I wanted to, but I didn't want the consistency of having to deal with you. I just didn't want that. But it made perfect sense because if I backtrack to when I was smaller, I had the emotional intelligence as much as I needed, but the regular girl with little daddy, daddy problems and all that. He was not there. You get what I'm saying? He wasn't there. Growing up in a Caribbean household, verbalizing your needs is a very bad thing. It's not the best thing. It's not the best thing that you could do. It's not the best decision because your mom knows what's best for you. She's doing the best that she can, and you should just shut up because she's 1,000% right. It does not matter what you're gonna say. It doesn't make sense that she yelled at you for something you didn't do, and you're trying to tell her who actually did it. It doesn't matter, So I think just based on the ways that my childhood shaped me, and I'm not saying I had this horrible childhood, but we go through things in life and the way that those experiences shape us and the things that we take away and how many times we go through those experiences and how many takeaways we take away that is the same at the end of the day, like, oh damn, maybe I should just not speak on my feelings, or maybe I should just not, it actually acts a part. I wanted these emotionally unavailable people because I was emotionally unavailable as well. But I'm not that woman anymore. I don't know how much more emotionally available I am. I just know that I'm just not where I was. I don't want the same things. The same things don't intrigue me. I don't like the same habits. I need people who are working to be better. I want to be a better woman, so I'm working towards that. I'm not there yet. I still am a better woman today than I was yesterday and last year and the year before that because I'm always working towards it. But you have to sit with yourself sometimes and just, people ask, what am I doing wrong? Where am I going wrong? They ask a question where the answer's so obvious, but you still can't see it because you're not looking at the one possible thing that it could be. You're always pointing fingers at everybody else. You gotta start pointing at yourself. And that's for me too. Let me tell you. These people used to do me filthy. And it's not to say I just was taking the filth and not dishing out.
You sound like you just said you woke all over.
No. No. Cause I let you do it, but you will never find out what I did. So to me, we even. Evil twin, like that type of shit. But that's how I just know, like, you're not.
You see women.
You can't traumatize me like that, and then we ride off into the sunset. It's just not how that really goes.
I thought you were supposed to learn how to be the bigger person.
Learning doesn't mean you have learned. There's still a transition when you're learning. That makes sense.
You don't make sense.
What you mean? I don't think that you're qualified to tell me that. Ultimately, all these relationships were just situationships. We do everything that we would do in a relationship. Going out, splurging, cooking. Like, I was being a wife to people that I wasn't even committed to. Even though I committed without actually saying, listen, we are together now, or having that conversation. Because you can't really tell somebody that. You have to have a conversation about it. Y'all both have to want the same thing. You understand? But that was the only way I knew how to be. It's just how I naturally love. You understand? And I realized you can give your love to the wrong people or the right people, but they're just not ready for it. So it's not really something that you should be doing. You understand? You got to take things for what they are at face value. Don't sit there and hold somebody because of the potential you see in them. Don't sit there and fall in love with potential and then sit there and expect it, because they show you who they are every time. You just decide to look at what it is that you want to see. It doesn't really work like that. So it became unreciprocated love, became unreciprocated energy, and for me, in those moments, that's when it's time to leave. You have to know when it comes to these toxic relationships, when it is time to wrap it up, when it's time to pack it up, when is it too much time. Once you're comfortable, once you know what to expect, like that should be your sign to go. Never get too comfortable. You just never get too comfortable. You understand? You cannot grow in an environment that broke you or continues to break you. You're just gonna be broken. It doesn't work like that. I want you to think of your own relationships. Like, where are you stretching yourself? Where are you overly extending yourself? Which ones are draining you? And honestly, the answer to some of these may be so hard for you to face, because I know for me, outside of just my dating habits or what they were, I know a lot of my relationships has to do with my family ties. Sometimes it's my mother draining me. Sometimes it's my dad draining me. I'm Jamaican, y'all know, and if y'all don't know, now y'all know. My mom could be draining. She only knows one way, it's hers. The world don't work like that. Like, it just doesn't work like that. I'm part of a different generation. Our generation is a lot more open to a lot more things, and the world is ever changing. But you gotta realize there's a world that exists with everyone in it, and then there's the world that exists inside people's heads, which the ones in their heads is the realest one. I want you to think of these relationships and don't overextend. Think of when you should just be saying the word no. And that's the assignment. You don't want to go to this party with your friend? No. You don't want to go hang out with this person? No. Your mom asking you for something you can't deliver right now, you don't have it, you don't want to, you just, no. Just practice saying the word no. That's the one assignment I have for y'all. And I'm gonna practice it too. Because I have a hard time saying it, and I damn sure don't like to hear it. Why would you tell me no? It don't make sense. But when you manage and balance the fact that people have boundaries, it starts to make a lot more sense. You understand? Life is so short and so long all in one. What you do at that time is truly dependent on you. You don't have to take things you don't want to take. There are things that are in your control and the things that are out. Whatever is within your control that you can restructure, remove yourself from, add yourself to, you should do that. Because it'll all help you become a better you. It'll help you do what it is you truly want to do. But I mean, what do I know? I'm just speaking from my experience. Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode. Hope you learned something. If you have something to share, feel free to drop it in the comment. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn your alerts on so you know when a new episode has dropped. You can be the first in the game. You can hear it here first, you know? And that's it. That's really just a peace of mind and a piece of advice. See y'all next week.
Perfect.